He didn't run to the door when we brought him home. He didn't sniff around with curiosity. He didn't explore. He just sat there, right in the middle of the hallway, completely still, like he was waiting for something terrible to happen. The look in his eyes, I'll never forget it. It wasn't exactly fear. It was something quieter than fear, something heavier. It was like he didn't believe any of it was real. Rusty had spent nearly 8 months in a shelter. 8 months of metal cages, fluorescent lights, and the constant noise of other animals. 8 months of watching families walk through the doors, point at other cats, and walk out without him. He was 2 years old, fully grown, not a tiny kitten that melts hearts at first glance, just an orange tabby with long fur, a broad chest, and serious amber eyes. Just there, waiting, every single day. When the shelter coordinator handed him to us, she pulled me aside and said something quietly. He might not act like a cat who's been rescued, not at first. I smiled and nodded. I thought I knew what she meant. I didn't. Inside the house, it became clear how much those 8 months had shaped him. He moved low to the ground, almost crawling, like he was trying to take up as little space as possible, like he was afraid of being noticed. He didn't meow, not once. He found the narrowest gap between the wall and the couch, pressed himself into it as deep as he could, and that's where he stayed. I put out a soft bed for him, he ignored it and slept on the bare floor. I placed toys around the room. He walked past them without a glance. The sound of the television made him flinch. Running water in the kitchen made him flatten against the floor. A door closing too hard sent him back to his corner. Every ordinary sound in the house felt like a potential threat. There was a stillness in the way he held himself, guarded, careful, waiting, like the world had already taught him not to expect anything good. I kept thinking, just give him time, he'll come around. But days passed and Rusty stayed quiet, still watching everything with those amber eyes that carried something I couldn't name. Not exactly sadness, more like disbelief, like he was still waiting to be taken back. Those first weeks took real patience. I kept things calm, no sudden movements, no loud voices, no forcing anything. I'd sit on the floor near him, not reaching out, just being close, and let him decide what the distance between us would be. Some days he didn't move toward me at all. Some days, just barely, that distance would shrink by an inch or two. But something in him wanted to try. You could feel it. A small, fragile want buried under all that caution. Something that hadn't been completely extinguished by everything he'd been through. If this story is holding you the way it held me, stay a little longer. There's more of him coming. Around week 3, Rusty did something I wasn't prepared for. I was sitting at my desk. I work from home, so he'd gotten used to the rhythm of my days. I heard a quiet sound behind me. I turned around slowly. He was standing upright, not crouching, not sitting, standing on his hind legs, back pressed against the wall, front paws folded against his chest, looking directly at me, like a little person, like he was trying to say something he didn't have the words for.
I didn't move. I just looked back at him. And for the first time since he'd come home, he didn't look away. That was the beginning of everything. From that moment on, something shifted between us. Slowly, quietly, but unmistakably, Rusty started to understand that this house was different, that nobody was going to take him back, that the calm here was real, and it belonged to him too. He started coming into the room where I worked. First, he'd stop in the doorway and just watch. Then he'd sit at a distance. Then, closer. Always with that careful, measuring expression, like he was still gathering data on whether trust was safe. But he was there, present, choosing again and again to be near me. After about 2 months, his real personality started coming through. He became genuinely curious. He started moving through every room like he was claiming each space for the very first time. He found the best sunny spot by the window, he learned what the can opener meant, he started to play, tentatively at first, then with sharp, focused energy, chasing a toy across the floor like it was the most serious mission in the world. And he never stopped standing upright. It became his signature. When he wanted attention, he'd stand. When something caught his eye, he'd rise up and look. Sometimes I'd glance over from my work, and he'd just be there, upright. Patient, front paws folded, like he was waiting for me to say something worth hearing. Every time it made me laugh because it looked exactly like a person who had decided to become a cat and hadn't fully committed to it. He started climbing onto the couch, then the bed, then one morning he settled across my legs while I was reading, tucked his chin onto his paws, let out the slowest exhale, and just stayed, like he'd finally, after all those months, put something heavy down. Because I work from home, we spend almost every waking hour together. That constant presence built something real between us. He knows my routine. He knows when I'm stressed before I do. He'll come sit nearby, not demanding, not pushing, just close enough to let me know he's there. That quiet company changes something in you without you realizing it. One afternoon, I took him out onto the balcony for the first time. He stepped out carefully, whiskers working, ears turning like small radars. Then a breeze came through, just a small one, and his eyes went wide and bright. He rose up onto his hind legs, nose tilted into the wind, completely himself for the very first time. It was the most alive I'd ever seen him look. Watching him like that, I thought about how close he'd come to never having this, how many families had walked past his cage, how many mornings he'd spent waiting. Before Rusty came into my life, I was carrying a kind of quiet grief I hadn't fully named yet, a kind of loss that had closed something in me. I hadn't understood how much I needed something to show up for every day until he was there, standing at my desk, paws folded, watching me work, like simply being present was the most important job in the world. Honestly, stories like his are the reason I keep sharing these. If you feel that too, you already know why you're still here. He didn't fix what was broken in me, but he changed the air in this apartment. He changed something deep in me, something I don't think I ever could have reached on my own. There's a feeling I still can't explain, like he came into my life at exactly the moment he was supposed to. If you're thinking about adopting, remember this: they don't always arrive healed. Sometimes they come still carrying everything. Be patient, be steady, just be near them. Because the love a rescued cat gives you, once they finally believe you're truly safe, reaches something that nothing else ever can. Sometimes love isn't loud. It doesn't meow at your door. Sometimes love just waits, patiently, quietly, hopefully, until it finally believes it's allowed to stay. So here's what I keep coming back to. Do you think rescue animals bond deeper because of what they've survived? Or does every animal love the same, no matter where they started? Tell me what you think in the comments.